Hi everyone, it's Christmas season. That means it's fruitcake season. And today I'm going to share with you a recipe of a delicious fruitcake that's studded with fruits and nuts and is moist and delicious. So let's get started. But before that, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Make sure to press the subscribe button because I post exciting recipes every week.
We're going to start by infusing some orange flavor in our dried fruits. For this, take half a cup of orange juice and to that add half a cup of water. If you have a lot of orange juice, use 1 cup of orange juice. You don't have to dilute it with water. To this, we are going to add a quarter cup or 40 grams of golden raisins, the same amount of dark raisins, 5 to 6 roughly chopped pitted dates, a quarter cup or 40 grams of dried apricots, and 1 whole cup of tutti frutti. Don't we like tutti frutti in our fruit cakes? At least in India, yes we do. And 1 teaspoon of orange zest for some nice bright orange flavor. Set that pan on medium heat and we are going to stir this for approximately 5 minutes or till all the orange juice is soaked up by those dried fruits.
If you don't have orange juice, you can always use grape juice. And instead of boiling the juice with the fruits, you can also add 1 cup of juice to the fruits and let it soak overnight, and it's going to have the same effect.
Now you can see that the amount of juice is reducing rapidly and you can see that the raisins have plumped up a bit. So all done, let's turn off the heat and set that aside to cool down. And now would be a good time to preheat your oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit or 150 degrees Celsius. For the nuts, I'm using half a cup of roughly chopped cashew nuts and half a cup of roughly chopped almonds. And we are going to coat the nuts with half a tablespoon of all-purpose flour so that they don't sink to the bottom of the cake. For the dry ingredients, we are going to use 1.5 cups or 180 grams of all-purpose flour, a quarter teaspoon of salt, a quarter teaspoon or 1.5 grams of baking soda, 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, a quarter teaspoon of clove powder, a quarter teaspoon of ginger powder, and a good amount like half a teaspoon of nutmeg powder. I like the dominating flavors in fruit cakes to come from cinnamon and nutmeg, but you can totally switch up the spices and also use more or less as per your taste. Okay, so let's get our cake pan ready. I'm using a 9 by 5 inch loaf pan that I'm going to grease with oil. Make sure to also apply oil on the sides of the cake tin. Make sure to completely cover the cake pan with parchment paper because this cake bakes for a long time and we don't want it to touch the sides and burn.
No matter what I do, these parchment papers keep rolling back. I rolled it the other way, folded, done everything, but they don't listen to me. Somebody in the comment section, please write how you handle these.
For the wet ingredients, add half a cup or 1 stick of butter to a big bowl. It can be salted or unsalted butter, and make sure that it's softened to room temperature. To that, add 1 tablespoon of cooking oil, and that is the secret to make your cake nice and moist. To this, we are going to add 3/4 cup of dark brown sugar. The molasses in dark brown sugar gives this cake a wonderful caramel-like flavor and also adds a beautiful brown color. If you don't have dark brown sugar, you can replace that with powdered jaggery. Creaming the sugar and the butter should not take more than 45 seconds to a minute. Make sure to scrape the bowl from time to time so everything is creamed uniformly. All done. So next we are going to add 3 large eggs. The eggs should be at room temperature and we are going to add 1 egg at a time while whisking in between. Hey, if you're enjoying this recipe so far, do give me a thumbs up. Here comes our last egg. You must be noticing how the batter looks a little bit curdled. Don't worry, that is totally normal and your cake is going to turn out just fine. Next, we are going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and mix that in. all done. Let's add in all our dry ingredients that we had mixed and set aside. We will fold in the dry ingredients along with the wet ingredients, and we will combine them just till you don't see any large flour pockets anymore. Don't over mix here because we don't want a lot of gluten forming. And we are also going to add in our orange infused dried fruits that should have cooled down by now. And we'll save a little bit of those fruits for topping the cake. Now let's fold all these yummy ingredients together. Can you tell how wonderfully fruity and rich this cake is gonna be? Okay, all done, and now it's time to pour in the cake batter into, well, not pour in, we are going to scoop in the cake batter into the cake pan. This is a dense batter, it's not going to flow and spread and even itself out. You will have to press it down and make sure it fills the cake pan evenly. I'm adding some extra cashew nuts to the cake topping, just so it looks nice. Mix that in and spread it out evenly. Isn't that starting to look gorgeous? We are going to press down the fruits gently so that they stick to the cake batter. And then from top, I'm adding some fresh tutti frutti to give it that pop of color, just like Christmas lights. And yay, it's time to bake the cake. Fruit cakes are dense cakes, so they are baked for a long time at a lower temperature, like this is at 300 degrees Fahrenheit or 150 degrees Celsius, so that the cake is completely cooked through.
Approximately halfway through the baking, cover the cake lightly with the tin foil so that the color of the topping remains nice and bright. If not, it's going to turn like dark brown. If you like that, don't cover it.
You will know when your cake is ready when your kitchen smells of Christmas time and a toothpick inserted into the center of the cake comes out clean. Now it's time to completely cool down the cake. So the cake has completely cooled down, and now let's take a look at it. Doesn't it look beautiful? It's perfectly baked, and look at that deep brown color. Let's cut a slice. It is moist and nutty and fruity and delicious, guys. I can't wait for you to try this.
So alright my friends, that's all for today. If you enjoyed this recipe, please give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas and enjoy this delicious cake with your family. If you guys prefer written recipes to videos like this, you can always visit my blog. It's easy, it's called noopursindiankitchen.com. And if you're on any of these different social media sites, I would love it if you follow me. So alright, see you next week. Bye-bye, and don't forget to subscribe.